There comes a point in life where almost everyone faces a closed door. Sometimes it's an opportunity you prayed for, a relationship you invested your heart into, a friendship you thought would last forever, a dream you imagined so clearly that you could already see yourself living inside it. And then suddenly, it ends. The door closes. No warning, no explanation, no clear reason. And because we are human, the first thing we often feel is rejection. We begin to question ourselves. We replay conversations in our heads. We overanalyze moments. We wonder if we were not enough, not talented enough, not lovable enough, not worthy enough. A closed door has a strange way of making people doubt themselves. But what if every closed door is not rejection? What if some doors close because they are no longer connected to the direction your life is supposed to go? That's the difficult part about growth. Growth does not always feel exciting when it begins. Sometimes growth feels like loss. Sometimes growth feels confusing. Sometimes growth looks like watching something you deeply wanted slowly disappear from your hands. And because pain is loud, we mistake every loss for destruction. But not every ending came to destroy you. Some endings came to redirect you. Think about how many people remain trapped in places they have already outgrown simply because those places are familiar. Familiar pain still feels comfortable to many people. That's why some stay in unhealthy relationships. That's why some refuse to leave environments that drain them. That's why some keep forcing doors open long after life has made it clear that the season has ended. Because letting go feels terrifying. We become attached to what we expected life to look like. And when reality changes those plans, it can feel personal. But life is not always attacking you when things fall apart. Sometimes life is protecting you from things you cannot yet see clearly. There are doors you cried over that would have eventually broken you if they had remained open. There are opportunities you begged for that would have stolen your peace. There are people you wanted desperately to keep in your life who would have slowly damaged your confidence, identity, and emotional well-being. But in the moment, you cannot always see that. Pain narrows perspective. When a door closes, all you can often focus on is what you lost, not what you were saved from. And this is why many people spend years angry at endings they later become grateful for. Because time reveals what emotions cannot. There are moments in life that only make sense looking backward. At first, the closed door feels unfair. Then later, you realize it was necessary. You realize that staying there would have delayed your growth. You realize that certain environments could no longer carry the person you were becoming. You realize that some things had to end because they were too small for your future. But while you are still standing in front of the closed door, none of that feels comforting. Because uncertainty is uncomfortable. Human beings love clarity. We want answers immediately. We want explanations immediately. We want to know exactly why things happen the way they did. But life rarely explains itself in the moment. Sometimes all you receive is silence. And silence can make people feel abandoned. That's why many people lose themselves after disappointment. They allow one closed door to define their worth. A failed relationship convinces them they are unlovable. A missed opportunity convinces them they are incapable. A rejection convinces them they are not enough. But a closed door is not always a statement about your value. Sometimes it is simply a change in direction. A tree does not complain when old leaves fall away during a season change. It understands something many humans struggle to accept. Not everything is meant to remain forever. Some things are seasonal, and there is wisdom in recognizing when a season has ended. Because holding on to expired seasons can delay new beginnings. Some people cannot step into new opportunities because their hands are still full of things life already asked them to release. They are emotionally standing outside doors that have already closed while ignoring the new paths opening around them. And this happens because many people believe closure must always come with understanding. But sometimes closure comes through acceptance, not explanation. You may never fully understand why certain things happen the way they did. You may never get the apology you hoped for. You may never receive the answers you wanted. But healing begins the moment you stop demanding clarity before allowing yourself to move forward. One of the strongest things a person can do is continue walking even without understanding everything. Because faith is not just believing when life makes sense. Faith is continuing forward when it doesn't. And often, the doors that truly belong in your life will not require you to destroy yourself just to keep them open. That is something many people learn too late. Some people sacrifice their peace trying to force connections. They sacrifice their self-respect trying to maintain unhealthy relationships. They sacrifice their identity trying to fit into spaces that no longer align with who they are becoming. But what is meant for you should not require constant self-betrayal. What is meant for you should not require you to abandon yourself. Sometimes the closed door is teaching you to stop shrinking yourself for places that no longer deserve access to you. Sometimes the closed door is teaching you that your worth does not decrease simply because something did not work out. And perhaps one of the biggest lessons in life is learning that rejection and redirection can look identical in the beginning. Both hurt, both disappoint, both create uncertainty. But one leaves you stuck in bitterness, while the other quietly pushes you toward growth. The challenge is that you often do not discover which one it was until much later. And this is why patience matters, because time has a way of revealing purpose. One day you may look back at the very thing that broke your heart and realize it was the beginning of your transformation. One day you may thank life for a door you once begged to remain open. One day you may realize that losing certain things was necessary for becoming who you are meant to be. But until then, you keep moving. Even when confused, even when disappointed, even when the future feels unclear. Because life does not end at one closed door. And sometimes the hallway you are standing in right now is simply leading you somewhere greater. Not every closed door is rejection. Some are protection. Some are preparation. And some are invitations to grow beyond the limits of your old life.